Hey everyone, Zephyr here, set up to give you a quick rundown on Champions Online, because there is a lot in this game to go over. It's been around for a number of years, and they've built up quite a bit of stuff on it, quite a bit of content. This game is free to play, but with an optional membership. I'll go over that actually once we get into the game. This is the character creator though, best place to start in any MMO. As you can see, I've made quite a few characters in my time in this game, and more than I've actually deleted in the past. So, but they give you tons of character slots. Oh, I take that back. You can get tons of character slots. You can buy them, obviously, or you can pay, if you pay the membership, I believe you get more. Each time you max out a character, they give you another free slot, which is awesome. And, well, I've got the lifetime membership, which way back when the game launched gave me like 12 character slots. It's crazy. But it means I will be able to show you that much more of the game because I have access to all of it. I'll actually show you the rest of the character creator too. We'll jump in here. You've got the different archetypes you can play with, and if you play free to play, this is actually the only way to go. You have to actually pick one of these, and it gives you a certain set or sets of power sets that you can play with, that you can choose from. The costumes are not limited like they look. These are just examples. Or you can go freeform, which I will be doing here. Male or female, of course. That basic white or yellow and blue costume is... I don't even know who came up with that, but it's what it is. These are all the energy builders, which is the basic of combat in this game. You have energy, which charges all of your abilities except for this one. The energy builder is what you use to regain that energy. It's the most basic way you can do it. There's also energy return unlocks that happen passively, and you have your own passive energy regen, but at the beginning of the game, these are how you get it. Later on, you can bundle and play with your build, and you may never have to use your energy builder again. There are people that do that because they don't like waiting. But yeah, there's all of these different power sets. We're going to run with, why not, we'll hit Infernal Bolts, and then this is your first actual ability power that takes energy. As you can see up there under Chain Lightning, Electricity, 16 energy. Or Maintained, 15 plus 12 energy per 5 seconds, or Charge, 10 to 20 energy. There's multiple different types of abilities you can run through in this game. We'll stick with Infernal Blast. I'm not just going to make this character, there's no point, I just want to show you all the sections. These are the different stats you have in the game, and what they do. They have actually fixed the descriptions on all of these so they're accurate. For a long time, they were not. They just kind of left them at what they initially were at launch, even though that's not what they did anymore. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Pretty basic stuff though. They've managed to separate it all to where you don't really have to take any combinations anymore. Like Dexterity used to improve crit rate, and Ego used to improve crit damage. So you were kind of bound into both if you took one or the other. Thankfully though, they separated that, like I said. And then all of these different innate stats, innate talents, I believe they're called, characteristic. That, well, these are just an initial bonus that you get to your stats. And if you know what stats you're after, this can be very nice. Obviously, you can respec this in the game, retcon it, they call it, and change it at any time. And the character creator, which is massive. Cryptic makes the best character creators. I mean, the people that made Champions, or it's not Champions, City of Heroes, had a really good character creator. There was a lot to it. But this one is just ridiculous. I'll just hit randomize here a few times and show you all of this different stuff they can do. At least some of the different stuff they can do. Obviously, it doesn't go through everything. And the color schemes that it throws in are just weird. And if that wasn't enough, let's find one that isn't absolute. Oh, wow. Some of them are painful on the eyes. If that wasn't enough, you've got your stances. Stuff that you use while you're not in combat. Facial expression, which honestly you never see too much. Really not a big deal. And then the sliders, which can make your character extremely, extremely weird looking. Basically get rid of his hands, make his arms long, gigantic feet, long legs, but no legs, no thickness, tiny waist. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to pretty much. Or you can make his arms really long. Make him small. I thought there was a head slider. Oh, there it is. Face sliders. Yeah, it gets pretty ridiculously crazy what you can do with this. And some people have. They make really weird stuff. And then you create a basic story, which doesn't really do anything. It's just there for flavor. And a name. And you head into the tutorial. We, however, are going to jump straight into the game with one of my characters. This is, in fact, my oldest character. I made him way back when the game launched. And I have, of course, modified him umpteen 100,000 times since then. When they're around for that long, you tend to get tons of free, complete respecs. Respecking in this game can get very expensive because of how you choose your power sets as you want to, no matter what you want. You can basically completely recreate your character at any point in their lifetime. You change all of their powers, all of their stats, entirely change their look. Hell, the only thing you can't change is their gender. And actually, you might be able to pay for that, I'm not sure. Alright, this is the power trees. Basically everything that you can get is, let me see if I can make this window a little bit bigger. Everything that you can get is in here. There we go. Gigantic window, because there's tons of powers. This is, you can see there, all the trees are separated at the top. They're kind of separated by theme. This first one is, what do they call it? I can't mouse over it. I don't know. It's essentially energy manipulation. Things like fire, ice, electricity, force, wind. All of this stuff that you can choose from. And then over here you've got the techie stuff. And military. Guns, arrows, power armor, gadgets. Then you've got martial arts and the different little weapons. Single blade, dual blade, claws, unarmed. Psychics type. The heavy stuff like tanking builds. All of the magic, sorcery, and your travel powers. It looks like there's a lot of travel powers, but there's actually only about 8, I think, different types. And then all of the rest of them are just reskins and flavor and that kind of stuff. Some of them you can see the little Z icon down on the bottom. That means they're cash shop items. All of the other ones that I can't get right there are either costume unlocks that you can find, which there are a few of those, not very many, or they're bought through the in-game currency store, which is Questionite. And you can exchange Questionite for Zen, which is the cash shop. So basically, Questionite is, it's just like the game's version of real money. If you've played Guild Wars or most any other free-to-play, there's always some sort of currency like that. One of the newest things they put in, though, is vehicles. I've actually not played around with these too much, but they do exist. And they're interesting. I never honestly thought that they would come about. And I'm not too familiar with them, I will admit that. I think I just reloaded. Let's see if we can go find a target. I'll jump to some enemies. Alright, now everything around here is going to be really simple. And I probably should have gone to a different zone entirely. But you can see the basics of it. It's quick, too. Got minigun, rockets, and then, of course, anti-aircraft missiles. And you can modify all of that. Drop your thing in there. This one has 3 different types of weapon systems, a defensive system, and a support system. Different vehicles use different types. I'm not going to get too much into that or any of the other systems, because this video would end up like half an hour long, because there's a lot to go over. Up here on the right, you see the alerts, which they're essentially like the daily missions of the game. They give you different bonuses or different rewards, depending on which one you do. Some of them grant Questionite. You can get real game money directly by playing the game, by getting the Questionite and converting it to Zen. Or just, like I said, they have the separate Questionite store, which is the same concept. You get Questionite, or you refine it, you have Questionite. As you can see, they use lots of different types of currencies. It's crazy the amount of currencies they've got. Well, some of the stuff they don't use anymore, though. It's just that, I've been around for so long, I've accumulated everything. A little bit of everything. You saw the Nemesis tokens on there, maybe. Maybe not, there was a lot of little words. But the Nemesis system is one of the biggest points of potential in this game that is sorely underused. But basically, you develop a nemesis of your own through a character creator, just like when you made your character. It's over here somewhere. I don't know why I can't find it. Ah, there it is. Get out of the vehicle. How do I get out of the vehicle? There we go. Same way I got in. The Nemesis database. This one I currently got. Forgive the sound. For some reason it does that. And forgive the loading times. This game gets a little bit crazy. Ah, fine, I won't use him. It makes too much noise. You give them a power set, you give them a personality type, and you give them minions, which also have a power set. But as you can see, character create, just like your own character. And you can buy tokens to, you know, change them. Or you can just straight go in and edit. They don't have as many options as a character, as an actual playable character. But there is still quite a bit in here. It's not loading the minions. Why is it not loading the minions? They look pretty weird though, but you can see all of the different types that you can make. And then you give them something. And then you give him a personality type. The personality types comes through in the big story missions, Nemesis story missions. That just determines what they say, basically. It really doesn't do too much. Oh, I forgot to mention the travel powers. No, I didn't. They're in the power screen, like I said. This one is swinging. It's one of my favorites, just because it's fun. It's different. But anyway, the Nemesis stuff. Occasionally, when you're fighting enemies, you'll get attacked by a Nemesis group. By a group of your Nemesis minions, rather. And they'll drop a clue, and it'll start a mission, and such like and so forth. I have not showed you hardly any combat. Let me go run to an area that actually is, you know, worth something. And we'll go from there. Alright, this is Monster Island. One of the higher level zones in the game. Get out of the vehicle. There we go. It's a lot more difficult than it should be. But as you can see, the enemies are level 41 now, which is about as high as open world enemies get. However, my guy is built as a tank, so it really is not too big of a deal. I'm also using the heavy weapon set, which, as you can tell, has a little bit of weight to it. Which is kind of nice. Whoops. Just knocked him clear out of the area. The action is very the combat is very quasi-action. It's not actually, you know, Twitch action or anything. Wow, that's a lot of items. God, the mod system, catalyst system. Basically, you can upgrade your gear with these catalyst things that you can find. But you get tons of them, of the enhancements. Where's the other one? Right there. And you can combine 5 of the same level together to make a higher level item, and then you can, by fusing, and then you can put them into other stuff. It's crazy. I mean, if you want to know more about that, look it up, or by all means, I can do another video directly on that if you like. Just let me know. More than likely, this game will be separated into numerous videos for more detailed. Like I said, there's just way too much to cover. For the moment, though, basic combat. Pretty simplistic. You have to hit everything, and everything is determined by your energy bar. Oh, and then there's the holds. Whenever you get held, you have to actually spam the, well, whatever key you have it set to in order to break free. Makes it very interesting. It's really not as interactive as they'd like it to be. A lot of people get annoyed by it because, you know, spam X to continue playing game. That kind of thing. But it works alright. I've never minded it too much. Oop, my form broke down. There's a lot of maintained, you can see up there underneath my portrait, maintained buffs, essentially. And the passive that I'm running. All sorts of details. You can do a lot with builds in this game. You can do whatever you want to. You can make builds that are awesome and just basically slaughter everything. And you can end up making builds that kind of don't do anything. It is entirely possible to make a bad build in this game. It's actually very easy to do if you don't, well, know what you're doing and pay attention. But again, it's very easy to change too. You're never locked into anything long term in this game because you can change it all. It might cost some money. You might have to wait for a free reset, or you may have to spend real cash. But anything can be done. These guys run. Ranged guys do tend to run away from you. But what can you do? Oh, you can see them charging up abilities too. In which case you block. You have to forgive me. I changed my control scheme not too long back to try and match other games more, because I used to play this with a very weird kind of control scheme that nobody believes that I can actually play with. And I'm just trying to match everything up. They also tend to knock your travel power off, which is annoying. It's pretty interesting scenery too. That, however, is Champions Online. Tried to make it as quick as I could, and it's still really long. There's just lots of stuff to go over, and there's stuff I didn't even graze the top of. Alerts, I only barely touched you about. There's also comic series, adventure packs, basically a big mission chains, and the regular missions that you do, and quests just like that you do to level up throughout the game. Those are pretty basic and pretty much what you'd expect, though. But there's also crises, whatever, that introduce you to each new zone. You only have to do them once. You really only can do them once. And then they kick you right out into the normal zone. Like I said, it's just an MMO, too much to do all at once. This is just a basic preview, intro to the game. Hope it's helped you a little bit. Hope it's maybe, caught your interest. By all means, go try the game. Champions is on Steam as well, so it's really easy to get into. And we'll go from there. If you want to see more, if there's anything in particular you want to see, let me know, and I will go over it gladly. Again, I've got a lifetime sub to this game. I can always play it. I can always pick it back up. You wouldn't believe how many hours I already have in this game. Anyway, that'll do it for me for today. Thank you for joining me. I will catch you all again next time. See you later.